descend. So come on, city, sing this song once more. We are the lads from Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day.
Ladies and gents, girls and boys, welcome to the Tilton Talk Show, 7:30 on a Monday night, right through till 9. And a very emotional week it has been, with the tributes to Baz paid in and around St Andrews over the weekend. Wow, just amazing. A legend off the field. We know that he got into a little bit of a scrape or two back in his early days, but that man did so much work for charities and for other people. It's untrue. TJ, our hearts are still with you. We all love you, and we struggle to have words, Bab, honestly. Also, I have to pay tribute this week to my Auntie June, who passed away on Monday. June was the husband of my Uncle Fred, was the wife of my Uncle Fred. Uncle Fred used to take me to the blues back in the 70s with my dad and my cousins and another friend of mine who's passed away who I went to school with, Timmy Dawson. And she suffered Birmingham City all her life, God bless her. I'm so glad I had the pleasure to go and see her a few weeks ago before she passed away, because I hadn't seen her for donkey's years, and that was wrong of me because you should keep in touch with your relatives. But it is what it is, and God bless you, Auntie June, and rest in peace. Okay, so the show starts with a win. We're going to talk about a win tonight, Paul. We're going to talk about a win. Honestly, we are, mate. Honestly, we are. Like, old Shaz, right, has got that many grandchildren. We have to go to a birthday party every week, right? I'm not being funny. They are like rabbits in her family. And it's... Don't laugh. It's absolutely true, mate. It's true. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to the team tonight. The one and only Chris Brown and my friend Paul Hickis.
Good evening, all.
Craig Courtney.
Evening, all.
COVID-ridden Oliver.
Evening, everyone.
Chairman of the board, Alan Watton.
Good evening, everybody.
The one and only Mr. Road, Mark Adams.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're okay.
And all the way from Dallas, Texas, in the US of A, Mark Meredith. Who are you? Mark, tell us all about you, what you are, who you are, what you've done, and where you are.
Well, firstly, thanks for having me on. Big fan of the show. Watch it, try to watch it every week when the schedule we're on. But Birmingham born, season ticket holder at Blues for almost 20 years. Dad and brother still season ticket holders there now. Started actually working at the club just after I left school at 16, 17 in the community department, just doing coaching around schools. Then started working full-time as the on head reception at the stadium. So, seen many faces there on match days and during the week. Moved then to the training ground where I did the academy administration. Plus I coached, 2 or 3 of the academy teams over a span of about 8 years before moving to Derby. And then from there, I had 12 months in Norway, and now I'm here in sunny Dallas. This is my 8th year. I'm still a massive Birmingham fan, still following the boys, obviously from here. Miss going to the games, but great to be involved and have a chat tonight with you guys about obviously not just yesterday's game, but the past and the future, hopefully.
Okay, what part of Derby did you live in?
Swadlincote.
Right, I'm from Uttoxeter, so I'm just up the road.
Yeah. And Ashby just on the border of Swad and Ashby de la Zouche.
Ashby de la Zouche. I used to DJ there back in the day, in the old, blimey.
The smallest town you could ever think of, right? It's one street.
Yes, one street.
But yeah, we had some good times there. Like I say, I worked a year or so at Derby County, and then it was just time for a change, and ended up going to Norway, which was difficult with the language barrier and the weather. So then I turned the negative 25s into the 95, 100 degree desert weather here in Texas.
Horrible, man. What temperature is it outside now?
It's about 95 today. We're expecting rain though later. And we're coming up to the crazy summers soon, and you're touching probably 105 for 100 days.
Are you in Tornado Alley?
We've had tornadoes around. We're not in it, Oklahoma.
I saw one when I was in Florida once, many years ago.
I've seen it all in years. Tornadoes, hurricanes, 105-degree weather, snow. So yeah, I never know what Texas weather's gonna do. I go out in my my Eskimo clothes and come back in my shorts and t-shirt, right?
No problem. Okay, so you've got a bit of an accent going on there. What do we call it? Early Chris? Can't remember. Dallabrum. You've got a Dallabrum accent. A Dallabrum accent. We'll have you twang back by the end of the show, don't you?
Hopefully, yeah.
Right, Watto. A win the weekend. I know it was only a penalty, and from what everybody's saying, it was a really boring game. Talk us through it, buddy.
Not much to say, really.
Okay, we'll move on.
It was dull.
Good night, Alan.
It was boring. The wind was howling, but you've got to come out. Obviously, a win like that, you've got to come out with some positives. And I think there was a lot of character on show. The three guys at the back were tremendous, particularly Roberts. I thought he was fantastic, and the young kid gets better every week. I'm glad to say I've seen a Lyle Taylor penalty for us. Because I've looked at videos at him and all the penalties he scored, but to see him do it for us, that was terrific. That was the highlight of the day, really. I mean, it's very difficult to get excited about penalty takers, but this bloke's different, and it was wonderful to watch.
Can I put an early question out there to everyone and our viewers? We're in a penalty shootout tomorrow in the playoff final to get back to the Premier League. And you can pick 5 penalty takers from all time in your lifetime to take them. Who are you going to pick?
Me, Granger, Darren Carter,
Trevor Francis,
Trevor,
Alan Purse.
Jeff Horsfield,
Aaron Purse.
Alan Purse. There you go. There's my 5. Yeah. There you are.
Oh, they look stupid, wouldn't they?
And as I weren't at the game, can anybody tell me why we had 8 minutes of injury time?
We were baffled by that, to be honest.
Everybody was thinking the same, Nick.
The irony of it was we had quite a few stoppages in the first half.
And
he signalled a minute, and he only played 30 seconds of that.
Yeah.
Then the second half, 8 minutes. Well, I mean, we were wasting time, and so on and so forth. There was a couple of injuries, but 8 minutes is just it can't.
It was a joke.
Yeah.
It's almost like he was willing them to equalise.
Yeah.
But, to be honest, they didn't even look like they were terrible. They were really poor. The Albion were. I expected a lot tougher game than that. But
I thought we were good though, Mark, in a lot of parts of the game.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought in midfield, we won the battle in midfield for me. I thought Gary Gardner was outstanding.
He always is poor.
Since he got that captain's armband, though, Gary Gardner's been brilliant since he got the armband, hasn't he?
He's my player of the season, to be fair.
Yeah. And Bakuna as well. I thought Bakuna was great.
He had a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, what epitomised it for me was when Gardner went slamming into the advertising board with his shoulder.
Yeah.
And he just got up, and that just typified everything about him. He was superb.
Yeah.
I don't want to butt in, but Bo is making a weekly appearance on the Tilton Talk Show. There she is, Bo. Bo the cat. I forget, maybe.
Yeah, but no, it was a bit of an old school. It was a bit of an old school game, wasn't it? From our point of view, it took me back 25 years, to be honest. Everyone was fighting for the badge, and I thought in the end we deserved the 3 points. And
you see, Paul, sometimes you're going to get that in a local derby. They're dire. And then other times they are electric.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm still in shock that we actually got a penalty. When was the it feels like an age since we got a penalty. I think it was Derby at home, wasn't it? In about August, September.
It's
interesting to hear Taylor's interview actually after the game and his talk around. When I was on the pitch, they all had words with each other, and they walked into the change rooms and basically said, "We are not going to roll over and let them tickle our tummies."
Yeah.
That was perfect Birmingham. We just stifled them. And you're asking the question about the penalties, Paul, but the one that's come up the most in terms of votes so far been Kevin Paul.
He did score every one he ever took for us.
Yeah.
I think for me, Paul Devlin's the best penalty taker I've seen.
Devs was good.
Dev was.
No, well, probably he's now said that. But
Stan
Stanislavridis.
Yeah. Marlon King as well was good, wasn't he? And
Marlon,
and Craig Gardner as well was good.
Yeah.
Craig, yeah.
And Marcelo.
But all these best penalty takers we had, I've never seen a run up like that yesterday for us before.
No.
But he scored it, he buried it, so you can't complain, can you?
I mean, he's going back to Lyle. I mean, I think we all love him because he's just a character, isn't he? I mean, the way he's winding up the Baggies fans was superb. When he's bobbling the ball, he's chucking the ball at Andy Carroll's head and all that, and getting the treatment in front of the Albion fans with a big grin on his face, and it was just.
It was the coolest. It was the coolest person in the stadium, wasn't he? When he, you know what I mean. Everyone's thinking, "What's he doing?" I was thinking, "What's he doing here?" I can only speak for myself. It reminded me of Rashford in the Euros, the run up a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah, it did a bit.
But obviously, he pings it in the top corner. Great finish in the end.
Okay, Tim Faraday, sorry, one of our actor friends, we have to say actor, not actor. It's a bit common, isn't it? He says Nico Gordon looks like he could be something special. Talk about Nico Gordon for a minute.
Absolutely. Quick, strong, good in the air, good on the ball. He's got everything for me. He looks like he could go all the way to the very top, and hopefully it's going to be with us, but we'll see. But
reads the game so well for such a youngster. He's, that saying of old head on young shoulders is definitely the case with him.
Yeah.
Did anybody notice the conversation that Roberts and he had early in the first half? The game
gave him a roasting, didn't
they spoke to each other for a long time, and I thought he's just, this is good because I think he got caught out of position slightly, and Roberts had a long chat with him while the play had stopped, and never put a foot wrong after that. He was tremendous. I
love the fact that he gave a roasting to Pedersen as well.
Yeah,
because he was, for a youngster to tell the seasoned pros, which is what you call him now, to what they should be doing. It's just brilliant.
My only sorry, Mark.
Mm.
My only not I don't want to be negative, but I'd rather see Hernandez playing left wing, not wing back, and he was right wing back, obviously. And for me, he has the most effect on the game playing on the left flank, left wing. But that's we were playing wing backs, weren't we? So it was 3-5-2, wasn't it? But...
A quick question for Chris Brown. Kathy Jean Morrison, has my Tilton mug and T-shirt been sent to Brenda's yet for me with a kiss? No. There you go, Kathy. That's why you've not got it. Do you know why? What's the excuse, is it?
I think with Hernandez, he's probably had the quietest game yesterday than he's had since he's been here. But boy, did the one touch that he made. I mean, everybody was around me was going, "Oh, what kind of pass is that? He'll never." And a bloke keeps it in and creates a penalty. It was incredible.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know what their guy was thinking about playing basketball. He was in the wrong stadium, wasn't he? Did you watch the game, Mark in Dallas?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got yesterday's. And, going back a few minutes to what you guys were saying, I think it was just a typical performance that we want as fans, right? All the time, Blues has always been that. We just want to fight. We want to see them fight. We want to see them work. It's never going to be extra special, is it?
No.
But if they fight and they give it, and what else could you ask for? And they got the win out of it at the end. So it was.
That's it. That's all you want. That's all you want. Right, Chris Brown. A message for you, my friend, from Paul McCarthy. No sound from Chris. Can you have a look at that and sort it, mate?
Yeah, that's because I had my mic turned off.
God. He only gets one job. He only gets one job. He only gets one job.
Another good shot here for the.
No one's missed me.
Another good shot for the penalty takers, Paul Caddis as well.
Yeah, I get that one. Yeah. And Gregory Beasley says, evening from Porthcawl, the land of Elvis, of course.
Furlong was good.
You was?
Furlong?
Yeah.
Mick Fussell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A few,
do you remember when we used to get penalties?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it when he gave it yesterday.
Right. Does anybody know, and I don't know the answer to this question off the top of my head, and you can Google it if you wish, how many penalty awards have we had this season? How many penalty awards have we had this season, please?
Awards?
Yeah.
I think it's 2, isn't it?
I don't know, Paul. I honestly don't know.
Was it the Fulham 4-1?
Yeah, we had one. Yeah,
Troy Deeney scored, didn't he?
So I think we got 3, I think.
Did we get one against Derby as well?
Yeah. I thought it was 2. I thought it was 3.
I thought Deeney was against Derby.
Yeah, Hogan took one against somebody, or was that last season? I can't remember. But Hogan took a crucial one somewhere.
Oh, that
It
was
might have
last
been
season.
no.
Yeah, it was last season. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get many, put it that way.
Yeah.
We don't get many at all.
From Brenda Brown, she said she shared the show again. Love the show. Jeremy said, "Come on, Blues!"
Blues.
Oh, Jeremy, we love you. We love you, mate. You're a superstar.
So, Mark, have you met any other Blues fans out in Dallas, Mark?
Not really in Dallas. There's a couple we keep in touch with. There's one in Houston, so it's not too far from us. And then since the Birmingham Legion thing and everything going on there, there's been a lot of them reach out on Twitter, knowing that I was here. So I'm trying to get to one of their games. You know, we can drive to Alabama in about 8-9 hours. And with my
just up the road then.
I have a lot of family in Louisiana, so it's only an hour and a half from there. So
yeah.
Marrying in Louisiana is gives me family there as well now. So yes, I am going to try and get there one time, but that's the only real people that I've ever spoke to about Blues.
Have you seen a Legion game at all?
I haven't. I've seen them on TV.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to one yet, but I really do want to. And it looks like quite a good atmosphere. We go to the FC Dallas games here. That's 15 minutes from the house, but MLS soccer is just not the same.
We've sent them some stuff. There's some Tilton stuff, Tilton Talk stuff on on the Legion terraces somewhere.
There is. Thank you, Wayne Linden. 2D need penalty against Fulham, so it's two.
Yeah,
two penalties.
So.
Two penalties in a whole season.
Yeah,
that's almost like Fergie time, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, that was every week, Nick. Fergie time was every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Sorry, Brenda Brown has just sent £5 worth of stars. Thank you, sweetheart. We love
She's lovely.
you, Brenda. We love you, Brenda. You're a lovely person.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
So we get down to the talking point probably of the day, which is Lee Bowyer staying or not staying, the rumours associated with it.
Somebody has just written, what's people's opinions on Lee Bowyer's ongoing contract talk? The later it goes on, the more nervous I am.
Craig, I think you might want to jump in on this.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way I see it at the moment is he's got to be given an opportunity to build a team that's his, to show what he can do. Because at the moment, I think if we were to gauge fans' thoughts on a poll, then from what I've seen across multiple channels, it's probably about 50-50, which really surprises me. I thought more people would want to back Lee, to be honest. But the general gist is he hasn't proven to some fans yet what he can deliver. The argument back with that is, look at the defence. The defence isn't his. If it was his, it might be a totally different story. He's got a year left on his contract. You know, for me, if he's now in a position where, if you believe the rumours that he is, borderline, he's on the rocks, he's got to go out and prove. He's got to prove them wrong. If there's a falling out, then sort it out. They've got to work together. I mean, the club at the end of the day is in financial trouble. It has been for a while. We know we've got to live on a shoestring for a while, but if we can get her through that and do this, if it is a 3-year plan that is always talked about, if it's there, work with that, then who knows? Personally, I think they'll do something in the summer. I think at the moment it's get the season out of the way, see how things go, see what those discussions are, and then go from there.
Right, Craig, we're not, for the first time in a long time, in a relegation scrap. So we've improved.
Yeah, we've improved, but we're not. I mean, as much as I hate to say and go with the stats that are there, if you take the Readings and the Derbys out of the equation, we would be in serious trouble. And that is a worrying thought. For me, there's one thing I'll say now. I would love Derby to get out of it. I think they're playing so well at the moment. I would love them to get out of it.
Yeah.
But the problem is we're a hiring or soon to be a hiring and firing club, and we need stability. We need somebody to be there to build a team they can work with, and then see what can happen.
Okay, Craig. So when have you heard anything about when is the next fans-led meeting? Because like I say, I'm supposed to be going, but I don't hear anything from anybody.
We haven't heard anything direct, but what I can say to everybody on here is we have agreed with Ian Dutton to come on the show. So we are just awaiting a date for him to come on.
Lovely guy as well.
And hopefully he'll be bringing Craig with him as well. So it'll be a good show to open those questions and everybody to hear.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the fans forum, no, I've not heard anything else. I know there were plans to try and do it before Easter. That might still be the case. I personally think they're waiting on the results of what's happening and before they call it, so that they can tell.
Sorry, something clipped to me here. Then the results of what? Sorry, Craig.
The surveys and things that are going on with the stand.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
They're waiting for that, and then at least they can turn around and go, right, we are doing this. Because that's what everybody wants to hear. Everybody wants to hear, what are we doing with the stands? Are we going to be open next season? We've all seen progression in the pictures, but actually, it seemed to me be an awful lot of work. Awful lot of work that's going to be needed.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah, can I just come in, Craig?
Of course, you can.
What was Richard Wilford sort of like implying that there may be some sort of rift between Craig and Lee?
When you hear when you hear him, that's how I read it. However, other people have said it's just the way that they might not have a conflicting idea of where they want to go with the club, how things want to be. I mean, who knows? I hate to say it. I desperately hope there's nothing in it, but we'll probably have to wait until the end of the season to find out.
But for where we're at now, I mean, obviously we all want to improve next season. We all want to go to the top half of the championship if we can. I personally think Lee Bowyer is the man to do that if he's given the right backing to do it. I think the signings that we've made since he's been here have been 90% good. And I think he deserves the opportunity to carry that on personally. And obviously he's only been allowed loans this time, but have we got anything to spend on the team? And if he's doing it with his arms, if he's doing it with his arms tied behind his back, then anyone would struggle, I think, to be honest, in this league. Well,
it's interesting. Sorry, Paul, to put in. It's interesting though. At the actual games, all you hear is support for Bowyer. His name was echoing around yesterday when they were going off.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any negativity at all.
No.
The actual games.
No, but for me, he's definitely the right man for the. I think he's the right man for the job, in my opinion. And
give him another year.
Yeah. If he'd have had a bit more luck with refereeing decisions and officials this season, and a bit more luck with injuries as well, then I think we'd be in an even better position.
We never get that look there, Paul. Okay, Pete Taylor said, did anybody see what Deeney put in that tweet that got deleted? No, I didn't.
No, I don't know anything about it. Does anybody know anything about it?
Anybody know anything about it?
I've seen it.
Go on, Mark.
I seen it on Facebook, and then someone took it down, and it was I think it was Bowyer that had said that he needed another week before he could get back on the field, because the physio had basically said he needs 2 weeks on the grass before he gets back out to play. And Troy was actually tweeting his agent, just saying, it's nice to hear this on Twitter and not, to face, sort of down those lines. And then obviously 10 minutes after it gets deleted.
You know what? This club has done this sort of thing over and over and over again. For God's sake, Birmingham City, listen and take this in, right? Have private discussions with your staff, your players and your staff. Do not put anything on social networks before you discuss that with that member of staff, and that member of staff has given you permission to write it down and publish it.
I agree, but I think...
I was thinking with that Deeney tweet how serious it actually was, because 40 minutes before after he tweeted it, I saw him in Solihull, and he was with his family and whatnot. He seemed all right. So I don't know if I don't know how frustrated he actually was, but he didn't see me. So I don't know.
Ollie, you could have a look at me walking down the street, mate, and I seem all right. Okay, after 3 spine operations, 3 on my leg, 4 hernias. I couldn't run 10 yards, mate. I'll be honest with you.
I think for me, whenever anyone, it's like WhatsApp as well, isn't it? Or anyone puts a message out there, it could be completely misunderstood. The way, when you type something, you don't know, how that person's sort of meant to put it across, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So if he's put out there something like "Good job I didn't see it on Twitter" or something, or "Good job I saw it on Twitter" or whatever it was, it might have just been a joke. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know the context or the sense of humour, do you?
No, apparently, Mark.
We don't know the relationship Deeney and Bowyer have got either.
No,
exactly.
And apparently, Mark, right? When you've had a drink, you're 89% more probable to press the send button.
Yeah, you can vouch for that.
Just go back in time on myself.
Mark in Dallas, I'm going to throw you under the bus now. Have you done a 1 to 11? And if not, start thinking about it.
You want it now or you want it later?
No, I'll give you.
Yeah, they're 15 minutes or so.
Okay,
about 15 minutes or so. Yeah. In my opinion, Deeney should put it out. However, if Bowyer never told him, then it's Bowyer's fault, says Harry Matthews.
But we don't know. That's what we don't know, is that we don't know. Right?
I suspect Troy Deeney hasn't hardly been at St Andrews for the last month.
No,
he's got so many outside interests. He's on the radio and he's on this and that. It probably is the only way you can contact him. Who knows?
I, for one, am excited about him coming back into the team around Hernandez and Bakuna and Chong, and you know what I mean. I mean, last time he was playing, with all due respect to him, he was playing with Chuck Sanika and players like that.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a different level now to what he was playing with before. So we might see a different Troy Deeney when he's back.
Yeah.
Because the better players
sorry for my absolute ignorance, and I'm sorry for my absolute ignorance. What was his injury? I can't remember.
Was it his hamstring?
Was that long ago?
Was it?
It was his hamstring.
I can't remember.
It was so long ago, you can't remember what it was.
I think it was during the war, wasn't it?
It was the same time. It was the same time as the game that we had last had a penalty, weren't it? About 1999.
Yeah. Sam says he'd love to see Lyle and Troy up top together.
Yeah,
they'd
absolutely.
be a right handful. That would be interesting to try anyway.
Yeah.
See, I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried about Forest on Saturday because I don't know how we're going to approach it up front. We're not going to have Lyle because obviously he can't play against Forest. So would we go Hogan and Juki, or would you go one up front? What are we going to do?
Right, for me, Mark.
Gonna miss him, aren't we?
Absolutely pathetic that you loan a player and you obviously got to give that club money and you've got to pay his wages a month, and he can't play for you.
He can't play against his parent club.
Yeah, but it's stupid. That's a
stupid decision. It could work both ways, though.
It's a stupid decision. He's our player. At the moment, he's our player. And he can't play for us.
He's not.
Right, but he's contracted to play for Birmingham City Football Club, right? And I think this rule where they say, you loan a player, you can't play against us, get stuffed, get it gone.
But just what would happen then if he scored a goal against Forest to stop them going up?
It'd be sold to us. It'd be sold to us, Ollie.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, you're right, Ollie. That's probably why. I mean, not in that game, but I mean, in all games where people are loaned out, players.
You're not going to pay a bloke for playing against you, are you?
I think what Michael Woods is saying here, he can actually play if they agree. It's between the two clubs. I think players have gone out on loan in the past, haven't they, and played against their parent clubs. But it doesn't happen very often. I think the parent club usually would rather have them not play against them. And I understand that, to be honest.
Okay.
Could you imagine?
Another question for you, Paul. Should we have a loan system?
I think so. I think it's good. It's good for young kids. I mean, when you look back at all the great players over the years that have gone out on loan, the likes of Beckham, Lampard, John Terry, all these great players that went on to play the game, and they went out. Even Harry Kane, didn't they? Even Harry Kane had 4 or 5 loans, didn't they, before he made it at the top?
We signed him, didn't we?
It's just good I just think it's good for the development of players if they're not playing regular.
I get that side of it, but I think for me, you've got a football club, right? or a business, right? And there's your business there, right? Within those parameters. And you've got X amount of people working for you. You wouldn't go outside of there to bring somebody in just to work for, 6 months. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's the only business in the world where you loan people and you sell people and you buy people.
I guess in business terms, it's like using an agent, isn't it? Like in an agency, if you like, and having a temp in to work for you, sort of thing. And in business terms, that's the only sort of comparison I can come up with.
Okay, yeah, I can go along with that a little bit, but I don't know. I just think the whole system's upside down.
Dave Sissons is saying that Deeney was on Match of the Day a month ago doing the analysis and said he was fit and ready to play, and that's a month ago.
That's all right for him to say that, yeah. But what about the medical teams?
Maybe he just doesn't fit in at the moment.
Don't know.
Yeah. Michael Woods, we all employ agency staff. Yeah, I get it. I get that side of it. I do get that side of it. Honestly, guys, I really do. Roger Brown says they need special permission to play against their club. It has happened before. And Pete Taylor, I'd rather sign Premier Youth on loan like Chong than go and buy some cheap unknown from somewhere like Botswana.
Absolutely, yeah.
In terms of the loans as well, you've got to look at a business point of view, because if you're a football club owner, you've got this player who's obviously got the talent there, but he's not going to get in your starting 11. If you can go out and grow him, you know that you're going to either make money on him.
If he's got the talent, why won't he get you starting 11?
Well, say if you're a Tottenham or someone and you've got a 16, 17-year-old, he's not really going to get into the starting 11, is he?
Well, one of the greatest strikers we've ever had, Mikel Forsell. He was never really going to get in Chelsea's team. So he got that new lease of life with us on loan. He banged the goals in, and the rest is history, isn't it? Goes down to one of our greatest ever players. Same goes for Dugarry as well. He was on loan as well. We've had some wonderful players on loan over the years.
We have.
Well, we have, and I get it, Paul, but I don't know. Should it change? I don't know.
What were you thinking, Nick? Are you thinking that players shouldn't be able to go out on loan at all?
Personally, for me, right, you start the season in August, with a squad, and you've got a window, which again I don't agree with really, in January, to change parts of that squad, because the squad that you've originally purchased isn't cutting it for you. I'm sorry, if that manager has chosen those players for that season, for me, they should stay there and give their all for the whole season, right? We shouldn't have a January window. Forget it, right? We didn't get Alex Song, did we? and I just think we need to simplify all this a little bit.
Yeah, but what if you riddled with injuries then, like we've been? If you don't have a window.
Unlucky. What if I go to work tomorrow and break my leg and can't turn up? Huh?
So don't you agree it's great for the kids to go out there on loan?
Yeah,
to get a bit of experience, proper match. It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think it's crucial.
If you don't have the windows as well, you won't have enough players to play at one point. So you won't be able to play without it.
Well, even players like Seb Larson and Mwamba and all these good players that we had were on loan originally, weren't they? Before we bought them, they come and prove themselves and earn a contract to start with. All on loan. You could put a really good loans 11 together, actually, couldn't you? From players that we've had on loan. Not that I want to do that now, but I'm just
no, don't do that.
A lot of comments coming in. Samuel at the low end market helps younger talent. I know. Okay, Nick. Take away the players that came in January, we'd be down.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Then, right, I'm gonna have to look at this.
We lost 2 or 3 loanees in the break. We had to replace the loanees with more loanees, didn't we? We lost the goalkeeper and the Australian.
Roddy McGree.
And we'd also lost Chong injured.
Yeah.
Without that window, we would have been in a mess.
Yeah, definitely.
That I've just thought now. Do you remember the uproar with Riley McGree going? And that it was the end of the world and we'll never survive, and how fantastic he was, brilliant. How are we going to get on without of him? Who?
Has he kicked a ball for Middlesbrough?
He played the first few games when he moved.
He's been injured, I think.
But I think he's been injured. And Sanderson, has he been in QPR's team?
Because personally, I rated him, McGree. I like McGree. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
I think Sanderson scored a couple of goals, didn't he, at the beginning?
Oh,
Right.
I don't think he's playing too well at the minute.
No,
I've seen some QPR fans say that they're not happy with him.
Well, funnily enough, Oliver, yeah. So I saw there's on one of the Blues social, one of the fan sites, some Blues lads had a picture with him on a stag do up in Liverpool, and apparently he said, "I'd love to come back to Blues." He said, "I love it."
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd sign him back.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
We need more. We need more kids in squad next season. James Gordon Oakley have done well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nico Gordon's definitely going to save us a few quid if he keeps playing like this because he looks like he's top quality.
Yeah.
Mark, with your coaching background, what's your thoughts on the loan scheme, especially with the youngsters?
Great question, Craig. Actually, you get a gold star tonight, mate. Now,
Hey, do I get paid now, Chris?
no.
Okay.
No, only me, Nick.
He said Mark, though, not Dallas. Mark, he's talking to Mr. Rose.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I'm joking, Mark.
I think it's helped us as a club massively. I think even the names we've mentioned just over the years have been excellent for us. But it is a difficult one. I get both sides of the thing. I think for a young player, you have to have it. I think bringing like the club have done and bringing in Martin O'Connor back to be this lone organizer. I think it's a good thing for the young ones, but it could be that the rule changed a little bit and you couldn't go out on loan after a certain age. And it was be called maybe like a youth loan instead. Maybe you could get away with that. It's a little bit different here in America because we do youth soccer, or football.
What?
Oh, you just done that swear word.
we do youth football, but basically, if you play in the Division 1, you're not allowed to play in Division 2 because it becomes a disadvantage to the D2 teams if you bring a D1 player down. So they have a rule where if you've played in the highest division, you can't come down and play in a lower division, which I think is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because, if you've got a club that has 4 or 5 teams in the same age group and you're having, 5 of their D1 players coming down to D2 to play one of their games, gives them a big advantage. And so I think as a youth player, I think it's fantastic. Give them as much experience as they can in the lower leagues. If it was going to be a championship team full of Premier League loans, then how do you stop them not having 11 Premier League loans and being the strongest team in the division? I suppose is what the argument is here.
Well, there's obviously the loan block, isn't there? But if you don't have that quality, you're never going to progress, are you? If you just have championship standard players, you're not going to get out of the championship, are you?
100%. I think you've got to have something. I agree with what Paul said and what I think a couple of you said. I think the fact that you can't play against your parent club is right.
Yeah.
I think when it does come to loans, I think the parent club still pays a lot of the wage. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's, you don't pay the whole wage as the borrowing club. So you're still, very much owned by the parent club. But it's difficult. As a Birmingham fan, I think keep it going. I think there's as many loans we can get, the better, right?
Yeah.
For anybody else, let's stop people like Coutinho going to Villa and stuff like that, right? We're just
whoa. Second swear word, 3 strikes a round.
Are you not allowed to say that, honey?
Oh my God, no.
Call him Aston, Mark. We all know what you mean then.
But in the last England squad, you had Conor Gallagher, obviously, who is a Chelsea player, isn't he? But he's on loan at Crystal Palace, and his form for Crystal Palace has earned him a call up to the England squad. If he hadn't have had that loan, he'd probably still be, in the under 23s, wouldn't he, at Chelsea?
100%, and that's the thing I'm talking about. Like Palace is no disrespect to Palace. Palace is a great club, but Palace is a smaller club than Chelsea in the same league.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's not,
And so is Brentford.
Yeah, so is Brentford.
Brentford, a massive club now, right after Saturday.
Yeah.
But look at Brentford and what they've done. They don't have the 23 structure, do they? They're in that other tier system where they're looking and bringing through their youngsters. And God, the amount of money without the Premier League that Brentford have made through investment in players is phenomenal. And I'd love to think that we could do exactly the same thing.
But we tried to, don't we? Signing all their best players, like 3 of their best players.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's it. Actually, can I just ask Mark, what was the reaction over there to the World Cup draw?
Is that American, Mark, or are you asking yourself this question?
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't got multi-screen on.
Yeah. I'm still in the doghouse 3 days later, so that's the reaction, right? No, I think it's a day after Thanksgiving as well, so it's huge here. Everybody will be off work, everybody off school. Football's growing so much here in the States, and people, it's always been behind football, basketball, American football, basketball, baseball, but it's a growing sport, and people are excited, and I just can't wait. I've just my parents actually coming over here in next week. They land in Dallas, so they're going to be bringing over an England flag with a Birmingham badge on for me.
Yes.
So, that'll be hanging up in some bar somewhere in America on that day. So I'll make sure
we need.
We want the pictures.
Mark,
pictures.
Are you on the Tilton Talk page, aren't you?
I am. I'll post it on there.
We want a photograph of that with you putting it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Nice one.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And actually, Dallas, Mark, just so you're aware, apparently, thank you to Mike Woods, it's a $14.50 fine or £10 sterling to you for saying the V word.
You take Vimo?
I love that, man. Brilliant.
We can censor it out somewhere, can't we? Go back.
No,
and say,
you said it. You said it.
Chris is good at that, isn't he?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Well, yeah. Come on, Nick.
$14.
Hey, money's tight right now.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 0.
Mark with Nick on.
I'm 5 minutes behind.
I have to do a lot of editing. So. Oh dear. Okay, tomorrow at AC Milan, loan from Chelsea. He's an amazing player. Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
There's another prime example. If these kids don't get out on loan, then they'll never get a chance. Really, a lot of them will never be given a chance at their parent clubs.
Yeah.
What's the Chong injury? Do we know that?
Well, it's reported by a lot of people to be a hamstring, but Lee Bowyer has said it's a muscle tightening. So that's that.
Okay.
Yeah, he thinks he'll be fine, doesn't he?
That's good. I wouldn't like that to be his last appearance.
No.
What?
Right then, so
Chris,
can we, who's playing squad game this week then? So we're going to go Dallas Mark against Craig.
Yeah. Okay then. Are you? Yeah. Okay. I'll get a coin ready this week.
Get a dime.
I hope you don't fall in your bucket.
Buddy, can you spare a dime? Right, there you go. Craig, heads or tails?
I'll go tails.
It is tails.
Want to go first or second, Craig?
Second.
You're going second.
Chicken.
Okay, Mark.
Uh-huh.
So your season is 2011, 2012. I've got the shirt on from that season right now.
Easy. Even I could get 3.
How many are you gonna name in 30 seconds from that squad that season?
That's the season after the Carling Cup, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Euro.
I'm gonna go
Europa League season.
I'm gonna say 5, and then if I get any better than that, I'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, mate.
Right.
So we've got 30 seconds on the clock.
I'm just getting ready. Are you, or Oliver, do you want to get it ready? Have you got your?
Yeah, go on. I can get one though.
Because otherwise, I got to.
I like the way you did it the other week, Oliver, when you held it up to the screen and you turned it round in 30 seconds.
I'm ready whenever you are.
That was just a hint to do it again, by the way, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Right, Oliver, from now on, that's your only job of the week.
Okay. On your marks, get set, go.
Stephen Carr.
Yeah.
Curtis Davis.
Yeah.
Marlon King.
Yeah.
Stephen Caldwell, Stuart Parnaby. Jack Butland.
Yeah.
I'll go Colin Doyle was probably the other goalkeeper at the time. Oh man, it gets harder, eh? Jordan Much.
2.
Yeah.
1.
And then
Time's up.
Yeah. That was
So
good. That was 9.
Was it
That
8?
nine.
Was it 8?
Yeah, that wasn't
Nine.
too bad.
9.
9?
Yeah.
That's
I was
probably-
I've got no
shocking at
chance.
maths.
I could.
Shocking at maths at
I
school.
could-
I
USA,
was absolutely
USA
shocking.
1, England 0.
Yeah, well,
No.
yeah, well done, Mark. That was good.
That's pretty
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
going.
that probably put you 3rd or 4th place so far. So pretty good.
I think Mark from Dallas. I think I got 1 last week.
Yeah, you useless.
Oh,
Not my fault.
So,
Could've
Craig, you
played
got to beat
against you,
9.
shouldn't
I've got no chance, but go on.
So
Right.
one of our most iconic kits was the Dolly Mixture kit, wasn't it? Obviously, the old Dolly Mixture.
No, sorry,
1992.
Paul. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to stop you because Craig. I know about Craig's memory a little bit like mine. He's knocking on a few years. I'm going to go for 2020, 2021.
Yeah, Craig. So I want the.
Oh dear.
Basically, 92, 93, mate, when we wore that wonderful Dolly Mixture kit with the Triton
Horrible.
showers on.
Disgusting.
Do you reckon you can
Are
beat 9?
No.
Right
I'll be
Okay.
lucky to get 5.
Okay.
then, on your marks.
Oliver, you ready?
You ready, Oliver? On your marks,
Yep.
get set, go.
Frame, Clarkson, Rogerson.
Ooh.
Up front. Trying to think.
Hey,
who's up front now.
he played for us definitely.
Yeah, he was on loan.
Come on, 18 seconds.
Yeah. Leghorn. No, too late.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
that's
he
4.
there? Sturridge.
Yeah.
Gale.
Yeah.
One.
Time's
Oh,
up.
we're gonna have Chris White.
Oh,
John Gale, yeah. No, sorry. Yeah. Chris White. John Gale, I'll give you. Sorry. Yeah, that's 6.
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah,
You've
6,
lost to
Craig.
the
That was good,
Americans,
mate. That was good. That
You've
was good,
lost to
though.
the Americans.
I was thinking. I just thought you probably got Dryden in there as well, which I think
Yeah,
I
Rich
missed out.
Dryden, yeah.
Yeah. That
And
was the closest game. I think that was the closest game we've had so far.
Yeah,
Pesky Salido was in there then, was he? Was Pesky
He
Salido?
was. He was. Yeah.
Darren Robot and Mark Cooper.
Yep. Trevor Matthewson.
Martin Hicks.
Scott Hiley. Pesky Salido. Like you
And
said.
you're not meant to help him here. It's-
No, it's all over now. We got 6.
I'm
I'm doing the Jim Bowie now, Mark. Have a look at what you could have won.
yeah.
I'll take the speedboat.
Yeah,
So well
what
done,
you
Mark.
do?
You're this
Live in
week's
Litchfield.
well done, Mark.
Yeah, well done, Dallas, Mark. You're this week's winner, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
on.
well
Come on.
done,
Come on. Come on. Everybody.
Well done.
And in a couple of minutes, we'll get your 1 to 11, if you like.
Have you got it? Have you got it, Mark?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay. Should we get it going now?
Can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Mark.
So, Mark, you're all
Right.
time- so you're
No,
all
it is a
time
tough one. I'm trying to go with players that I liked as growing up and watching. So I go Benno in goal.
Yeah.
Take Stephen Cartwright back.
Yeah.
Centre backs would probably go Liam Daish with Steve Bruce. Granger at left back. Then I'd probably go midfield. I'd probably go Dominguez, Barry Ferguson,
Yeah. What a player.
Mark Ward,
Yeah.
and probably Stan.
Yeah.
And then my 2 strikers, I'd have to go. Simon Sturridge was my all-time favourite. Going to Wembley as a 6-year-old was huge. So Sturridge with Christoph, you can't keep Dugarry out. So I think that, and there's many more. There's many all the time, but that would be off the top of my head for sure.
Yeah.
Mark, I think this question is one of the most difficult asks of the week, right? Because there are so many Crystal Palace 2, Arsenal 0. There may be trouble ahead. Like I say, might be one of the really difficult questions to ask. Who's your favourite player? Me and Chris, we and Watto, of course, we go back a lot further. And
Auntie Linda even further.
Yeah.
Hang on. I did see Auntie Linda on the video of Baz earlier.
I've got to say that's a cracking team, though, Mark. It really is. And
It
what
is
about
brilliant,
manager,
isn't it?
captain and manager?
I'd probably go Brucey as captain, just, his career as well.
Hang on, didn't you have him playing?
He's playing.
Yeah,
you want to take him away?
He's captain.
Right? He can be captain and player, can't he?
Yeah, of course he can.
Yeah, player manager. Don't agree with that either.
He's captain. He's not player manager. He's captain.
He's not manager. My manager, I'd go Alex McLeish, and again, I know I talked to you guys before the call, and I, him going over there, the $14 club. $14.50. $14.50.
I so like that. That is quality. That is absolute class. Well done, kid.
That we'll never forgive him for that. But I was lucky enough to work with the academy for quite a few years at the training ground, and Alex was the gaffer at the time, and what a guy from from first team all the way down to the youngest of academy teams. He was put himself about. Everybody knew who he was, and he helped everybody around him. So personal point would be Alex. Fans' point of view, maybe I take away that just because of what happened.
Yeah.
Barry Fry, probably from a fan's point of view, because everybody just loves him, don't they?
Yeah. You got any funny stories you can tell us, Mark, from like when you was in the academy around the training ground and all the lads? Any good pranks you can tell us about, or any funny stories?
They used to have. It was a good one. We had a lot of banter between everybody in there, as you would think, and every Christmas you would have the Christmas pantomime where it was the academy boys would dress up as the first team players and then act exactly that they would. So we Muchie and we were coming through an academy where it had Much, Butland, Redmond. We had a really good group of boys there, and just they did one when they were Gary O'Connor in a wheelchair with a broken leg. So I don't think Gary liked it very much, but everybody else at the training ground did. And we had Terry Wesley dressed up as Karen Brady the one time in his dress. So, yeah, it was always great. It was always great banter. And we built a great relationship with all the guys there. Everyone would have lunch together and whatever in the same, because you've all been to hostels. It's not the biggest of places anyway.
No.
So everyone was in each other's footsteps and whatever else. Used the same treatment rooms. They used the same dining areas. So many stories and so many memories. And for me, you don't get many of us, but being a massive Birmingham fan in there, it was a dream. Every day was a dream for me to do.
Oh God, yeah.
So some of these were my idols, and also you make friends with them as well. And then even some of the older working in the academy, even some of the older ones coming back. Ian Clarkson worked with us, Michael Johnson worked with us, Stephen Clements coached with us. So we had a lot of the ex-players coming back and supporting us coaching as well. So it was fantastic to learn from those guys.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce was excellent. Brucey just came up from obviously Man United just as I started at the training ground. So just to be able to, as a young coach, just to be able to watch him after growing up, watching him win everything with United was a dream, really. So
yeah.
Are you still in touch with them, Mark?
I still see some. I still talk to some of them. Obviously, I got some of them on Facebook. Ian Clarkson's a friend that I talked to. I reached out to Jono obviously after the terrible thing with his wife. Best. And Dev was on the show last week. Dev is a great guy, and Jeff Horsfield, and so I try to keep in touch. A lot of them are still into either coaching football or doing something. So we all have that little bit of things to talk about. But yeah, it's great. I still try and keep in touch with the younger ones as well, just wishing them best. Charlie Lakin was a big one that I still talk with. He's at Burton now, and still this. It's crazy because this year's kids coming through, people like Josh Andrews and people like that was one of the first teams that I coached at Blues. They were 8 years old at the time. So to see those boys, Kyle Hurst, I actually had Dean Sturridge's son DJ on that team as well. He's over there now at that other club as well.
Wow.
Just save yourself $14, mate.
Not the 28 goals now in 10 minutes. My wife will be happy tonight.
Mark, do you know anybody called Dallas Schwartz? Huh? Dallas Schwartz. Somebody called Dallas Schwartz, who's on our YouTube channel. I just thought, Dallas. It's a bit strange. Coincidence? Okay. No, you don't know him. Okay. We won't mention him.
I remember has said to say hello in Richard Goulding. He's going to be joining us in a few weeks, and his immediate reply was, "Oi, oi, it's Mark Meredith."
Yeah, no, like Richard's. I'm still on the field. He still does the pitch stuff, does he?
Yeah.
He's going to get it right, Nick Mornick. Yeah.
Unlike you.
Did anyone see Connor Townsend ship and win at half time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's got an excuse for that. I don't know whether you've seen today, but he is claiming to have drank at least 7 pints before the game. Not sleeping very much, so that's his excuse.
Put it this way, I'm glad he didn't take that penalty we got anyway, that's for sure.
I did tweet Connor, and I said a sweet left hook and a right foot to stand on.
He replied to somebody earlier on and said that's why he punches people in the face as well. We don't argue with that, do you really?
No, you don't. No,
I can argue.
It's going to go a long way.
To come back over, Mark, or not? To come back over and watch the Blues game?
I'd love to. We have a 4-year-old right now, so it's been tough trying to get, especially with COVID and whatever, trying to get over. But yeah, certainly he's next to get over there. As I said earlier on, my mum and dad are coming over. They land next Monday, so they're in for Easter for a couple of weeks.
Mark, I can tell you something, right? And I've done this 4 times. There is nothing like taking your child into St Andrews for that first time. It is, as a parent, as a dad who loves their children dearly, the most beautiful thing ever.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I've watched my grandchildren go in. Right, okay, my grandson, Zachary, his dad's a Stoke fan. I cannot and I will not interfere. That's a dad's prerogative, right? Ava, she's Blues through and through. Lila, she's Blues through and through, right? And I say to Ava, she's what, 10? Ave, who do you hate most in the world? Villa!
£10 for you, Nick. £10 for you.
I'll pay it, mate. I'm getting it out of my pocket now.
I remember asking my Jacob when he was 10 who he hated, and he turned around and said, "You." No, only joking. But mind you, having said that, has anyone else? I mean, for me, my Jake, he's got no interest in football whatsoever. He's 14 now, and he's got no interest.
You're a bad father. That's all I can say.
What have you taught him?
But you know what?
Mark from Dallas.
Uh-huh.
When you come over and bring your child to walk into St Andrews for the first time, let us know, because we will all be there with you for that moment. We will all be there with you for that moment. And I promise you, right, a lot of other people will be as well.
No, appreciate it. Thank you.
And I can promise you in 10, 15, 20 years after that, he'll hate you.
Yeah. That's why I'm not doing it straight away. I'm just
Why did you do this,
Right,
Dad?
here we go, Chris. This is
Hey,
true.
he watches the Dallas Cowboys. It can't get any worse than that.
You can't. No, you're dead right, you can't. Right, this is true. When my granddaughter Ava, her first game, and it was in the same corner that my dad took me to on my first game back in 1973, right, which had to be, right? And I'd gone in first and was videoing her coming through the turnstiles, right? And all I can hear outside, because everybody knew that it was her first game, child abuse! Child abuse!
Yeah, that's it.
And talking of child abuse, Michael Woods has passed a really good comment here in that, Mark, what you expect, he doesn't like football because you live in Coventry.
Very true. Yeah, the only way I can compare it, Mark, in Dallas, is like, when obviously Christmas is better in it when you've got kids as well.
Yeah,
and it's just that feeling when they first go in there for the first time. It's just, it's so special. Yeah, it really is.
Mark, please, when you do come over, make us all aware, and we will have a massive campaign to give that child the best reception ever. right?
Sure, we'll let you guys know.
Superb, kid.
Yes,
Superb.
Mark. So apart from the football, what is the biggest thing you miss about being in Brum? But not being in Brum.
Mr. Egg.
Yeah. Mr. Egg.
Litter.
He's not there anymore.
No.
I miss my family. Obviously, I miss the city. I mean, if I'm honest with you, people laugh at me all the time. But you're born and bred in Birmingham, and it's different. You guys know it because some of you know it. Some of you are on the outside, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I miss being around Birmingham friends and just I keep going back to football, but just not just the games, the whole family atmosphere of, just hanging out with your buddies Saturday morning, going to a game wherever it is, home and away, and then ending up somewhere Saturday night, and then you never know where you are Sunday. Then do you after that?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think I would say football, family, and the city itself.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Who knows where you are?
Been there, done it, mate. Don't worry about it.
So have you ever brought your other half over, or
No, we haven't been over. I haven't been back to England yet in the 8 years. But
have you ever, Mark? Have you ever shown your other half? Right. It's a bit controversial. It's on YouTube, right? English football fans versus American football fans.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
Hey, she's seen it. She's seen it for
God, don't! I'm cringing.
I know.
I showed her our videos from Bruges and from Bolton away, so she knows what the real Birmingham fans are.
How do you think she's going to get on with a Balti pie?
Oh, get lost!
Not sure how I'm going to get. I'm not going to get on with it after 8 years either.
You'll love it. You'll love it. Food around the stadium.
I've seen that. I've seen all the street food vendors.
Wrong, completely wrong in my opinion. I want my burger vans back. I want to smell the burgers and the hot dogs from 30, 40, 50 yards away. Street food.
Well, I want a pocket pie.
Where do you think we are? Dallas? This is Birmingham.
This is where I am with the MLS football, because you go to FC Dallas and you basically sit in your seats and they're bringing around popcorn and beers and cotton candy, candy floss and what all of that stuff, and you think you forget where you are.
There's only one. Sorry, there's only one word that you've used in there that I would appreciate. That's beers. You can shove your popcorn.
You forget if you're at the football circus.
Candy in Birmingham is called candy floss. I don't know whether you've forgotten or something.
I tried to change myself quickly.
They have sort of barbecues and stuff, don't they, in the car parks?
Yeah, so they have the tailgate before, which can be, depending on how you do it, it can be fun. I obviously come from a family that's big on NFL, so we go to a lot of the NFL games as well, and they are a great time. It's totally different to football because just the stop and start of the game and things like that. But if you're an Englishman hosting a tailgate or going around to everybody else's tailgates and just telling them you're visiting for a week, then
what's a tailgate?
So that's what they are.
In the back of a car.
Everyone has barbecues. There's thousands of people on the streets. They're just drinking and eating, and so I find the best way of doing it is pretending you're just on vacation or holiday from England, and just telling everybody, "Yeah, I'm from England for a week."
Okay, but what's a tailgate?
What is it?
What's a tailgate?
It basically just barbecues and
so it's like an event. It's an event basically.
Right.
Yeah.
The back of your car is a tailgate, and they put the barbecue on that.
Yeah. Got you, Otto. Nice one. Sharon Moore.
Oh yeah, that's.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sharon bought a new gnome from my garden today. There he is. My new gnome. I now have about 36 gnomes in the garden. They're not outside yet because the weather's far too cold and they will crack and break. But I do have a Birmingham City gnome as well.
Do they all come to life when you're asleep, Nick?
Don't know.
Mark, just aside from football, what was the biggest culture shock for you when moving over there?
What, to Coventry?
Here in Texas.
Oh.
That was massive.
It's all doom and gloom there.
I wouldn't go there.
Mark, that was 100% brilliant, mate. Well done. Well done.
Quick and witty there. Top marks there.
Oh, I call it shining wit. It's a good job I said it the right way around.
That's it. He's just done his best bits for like 2020, 2021, and 2022. Well done, mate.
Oh, God, above. Ooh, well interjected, Mark. I like that, mate. Well done.
Go on, Dallas, Mark. Sorry, mate.
For me, the weather's been. I said it early on in the show. It's crazy. It's like you never know how to deal with what you're going to get. You know, we below freezing in December times, which to me is not really cold because the below freezing here is not, you know, is typical to what we have at home. But the summers, being out on those pitches in the summers, and it's 105 to 110, and you can just feel yourself melting, and you're quickly dehydrating, and you're trying to get that fluids down you. But it even after 8 years, I still dread that month of July, August time because it's just it's desert weather. It doesn't change. We hold the record for like over 100 for 100 days.
Wow.
Just no.
Let's all go to Dallas. Let's all go to Dallas.
If you fancy a trip here, then stay away from July, August, I think. So
yeah.
Can I just say, Mark?
No, I'm sorry, Mark. We're hardcore. We'll be there in between July and August.
That's it. Come for the 2 months.
And in the midday sun, yeah.
Shirts
Go on,
off.
Go on, Mark.
Mark, did you get to go to the pre-season games? You know, when the English teams go over, do you go to many of those?
Yeah, actually, I was it was funny because I was the only Birmingham fan at FC Dallas versus the $14.50 club 4 years ago.
Right, okay. Here's a question. Did you have a Birmingham City shirt on?
I had my Birmingham tattoo showing.
Oh, good lad.
The funny story is my cousin is actually the writer for them for the Evening Mail, Matthew Kendrick.
Oh, Kendrick, yeah.
Matthew did a story on me for that day, saying, Birmingham fan in midst of Villa's preseason tour or whatever. So it actually came out in the Evening Mail the day before the game. So when I landed in the pub in Dallas on that day, everybody knew who I was. So it was it was a good. We had lots of banter, but it was just fun. So I've seen that one. I've seen Stoke when they were over here. Jack Butland was playing for Stoke then, and obviously, so I got with Jack, and that was a good week. That's the only two we've seen in Dallas. I don't really go to a lot of the other international cup things because it's just it's a money making racket with who they bring over and who plays. So I try to stay away from them. But I'd love to keep hoping Birmingham will come over. But we'll
good question for you. Here we go. This is serious. Football or soccer?
I'm gonna say football on here, but I have to say soccer with the locals because if not, I get the same. The way you just said it, I get the same back the other way when I sell it to the kids on the field, and they look at me like I've got 50 heads. But yeah, to me, it's always football, and egg chasing is the other American football, right?
Right. What is it with American football? Where they've got these shoulder pads right out here and a big helmet and and it goes on for like 5 days, and like I just can't watch it. It's like, what are the rules? Huh?
There aren't none.
I got into it about the second year being here, and I do watch it a lot now. Just like I say, my family are big into it. It's tough. You've got to get 10 yards in, so many throws. If you don't, your ball goes back to the other team.
That'll do.
It's rugby with.
Sorry, mate. Yeah. You're trying to explain the offside rule to a woman here.
Man's rugby, right?
Oh,
it's like Nick, it's like anything else until you've seen it in the flesh.
Sorry, what?
I say it's like anything else. Unless you've seen these things in the flesh, you can have no real appreciation. You watch it on telly, and the ball is always in front of the camera. Well, if you're actually in the stadium, you see the ball go 100 yards that way, and a guy runs 90 yards, and so on and so forth. It's a two-dimensional game on television, but it's not.
I get that, Alan, but I prefer the kiss cameras.
Mark, just one more question, Mark.
Hang on, sorry, should we do kiss cameras?
Mark, has anybody come up to you and says, "I do love your Australian accent" yet?
Oh, all the time. Sometimes you just tell them when they say where you're from, you say Sydney, and it goes down a treat. But it just depends on what mood you're in on that day, right? If you want to do it.
Mark, you can't say Birmingham. I go, where?
Yeah, I'm not from Birmingham. All right,
Alabama.
When you're coaching, does it ever come up of like you tell the kids where you're from or like how football is over here or how different it is? Does that ever come up?
Yeah, people obviously people know my background and stuff like that. So it's asked. I'm actually lucky enough to be at a club now, an independent club that we run here in Dallas. That is, there's 10 to 12 English coaches that work in the same club. So we have a quite a knit group, and people know obviously where we're from and what we've done and the background. So yeah, boys do that. The players will come to you and ask for different advice, and a lot of them are desperate to be able to visit England and just experience it, which I always tell them, just do it, even if you only go and experience a game. I try to get them to go to St Andrews, but a lot of them want to go to Old Trafford or Stamford Bridge or somewhere like that. So I'm fighting that losing battle right now.
Nick.
Isn't it a shame, right? You encourage people to come to St Andrews, which, when it's on its day, can be an absolute fortress. It really can. And we've got half the stadium still closed, and we can't even fill the bits that we have open at the minute.
It's sad.
You know what, man? Breaks my heart, kid. Breaks my heart.
Nicholas,
yes.
last 15.
Last 15 minutes. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Anything to do with shaving cream? No. Anything to do with game shows and football.
Well done. Okay. Now this next applause is for Nick for remembering.
I've got one here. You've got to be really old to understand this. W. Richard Money.
No.
No.
You've never heard of Richard Money.
No, Watto, sorry, you're just really old.
Yes,
you're just really old.
And you've never heard of W. Money.
I'm going to go for Steve Bruce playing cards, right?
Double your money and try to get. I remember that. Yeah.
What about Take Me Out?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, take me out. All right, yeah.
I'm going Chase and Doy.
Yeah. The £1 million.
Sorry.
The £1 million clop.
The £1 million clop.
Who's guilty of that one?
Adam Wilkes.
Adam.
Paul McCarthy wants to know: has Nick been drinking? No way.
No
way.
Ginger ale.
Right. What are you insinuating? What are you insinuating?
I've been drinking ginger ale.
Looks like ginger ale.
That's just normal for Nick. That is. The price is always right. With a W. The W. The price is Ian right. Play your cars right. Cars. Cam Phrase, Heather Brown sent 200 stars. Thank you, Heather Brown. Homes under the Hammerbuza. Cat Shays. I don't understand that one.
Catchphrase, innit? Catchphrase.
Oh, yeah, well done. See, I'm not that clever. I really am not that clever.
What about Mount Down?
Mount Down, yeah, we'll have that one. Yeah, it's a Dash knockout.
Oh, I got that one. It's a Dash knockout.
Steve Bullseye. That's a clack. That's
the Golden Shotton.
Jerome's under the hammer.
Who did that one?
Yeah, well, yeah. Very good.
3, 2, 1, chop.
3, 2, 1 chop.
That's a pretty good golden shot. I like that. Jerome's under the hammer. Only Falls and Horsefield.
Oh,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And the quiz program.
Well done, mate. Well done.
It's the quiz, it's game shows, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Steve, not forgot.
Quinton. Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. I might owe you £3, but up the game a bit, mate. Come on, please.
£3. Don't forget inflation. I think it's a bit more than £3 now.
He's a very blues one. What about who wants to be a millionaire?
Yeah. Very good.
Wants to be a millionaire?
Who was that one, Paul?
Oh,
That's me. I've just made it up.
It's just made it up, yeah.
You've done me.
Yeah. He's a very clever one. Not the 9 o'clock MOUs.
Oh.
Count Greg down.
Yeah.
Greg down.
Right, come on, let's think about this now.
Give us a crew.
Give us a crew.
Yeah. 15
Okay.
to 441.
I like this one from Dom Kavanagh. Would I loyal to you?
That's a good one. Oh, sorry.
You are actually really good. Just happy for the team to get 3 points.
Who was that?
I ain't got a clue.
Was that Francis?
That's a quiz. That's a quiz for later.
Oh yeah, we haven't done the Who, have we, for a few weeks? Actually, I have to do another one next week.
No. Games coming up. Who we got next?
Forest
away.
Forest.
Yeah.
Of course,
That's going to be a really difficult one, isn't it? Forest away.
Yeah.
I hate saying we'll lose, but I think we'll get I'm going to go for a 1-1. Battling draw.
Right.
I
There's a guy
hate it as
here.
well.
Right. I have a point with him every Forest Blues game, home or away, and I've lost for the last, I think, God knows how long. I'm going 2-0 to Blues.
Why?
I want me beer.
I hope you're right, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much on the same page as Mark. Probably a 1-1 as well from me. To be fair.
I can't say much more than the draw.
I would be so happy with a 1-1. I just can't see it.
Stephen Gill's got the golden book.
No.
Oh my God!
I'm going for a 2-0 Forest.
8 out of 10 camps.
What about?
Yeah, that's a good one.
You'll like this, Mark. What about Beale or no Beale?
Yeah, I've got Family Fortune.
Good. Brendan's gone 2-1 Blues. Michael's gone Forest 1 Blues 2. Adam's gone for a 1-1. Stephen Gill's gone 3-1 Forest. Lindsay's gone 0-0. Steve Portman's gone 0-1 Blues.
I generally said 1-1, and you lot got a shout. Come on, Blues! Come on, Blues! Oh, Linda has actually managed to get out of a wheelchair and say chongs of praise.
You mean
That's not a quiz, though, Linda.
It's not a game show.
In a quiz.
Yeah, you mean she's just got out of bed
Yeah.
We'll give her that one, though.
with a stick. Wait a minute, yeah. Going for gold, and Sullivan. Going for gold.
I get it.
Oh, this is a good one. Vicar of Teberley.
Oh.
I quite like
Even
that.
though it's not a quiz, we'll let it off.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, of course, yeah. I keep forgetting that.
Keep forgetting what it is.
I keep forgetting where I am.
Oh, that's a good one. Dave Twine, Mark Sale of the Century.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like going for David Gold as well. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, hang on. Better let
Come on, people. There must
better
be
let
more,
Craig
must be
back in.
more.
Yeah, what happened to Craig?
It's that Nokia 3310, isn't it? It's just playing it. Right,
Who's coming in?
Craig.
You probably
Hey,
haven't
Bob
noticed
Crawley.
he hasn't been in. Yeah.
Another doorbell.
Craig. Put 50p in the meter again.
I am absolutely giving up on Virgin Broadband. I'm going to out them live on air.
Oh, they are rubbish, I know. Yeah, they are rubbish. Mind you, Craig, people have only just this second noticed you weren't in.
It doesn't surprise me.
Not me. I noticed, but nobody else here noticed. You say?
Did Mark Adams not notice?
Yeah.
Because he kind of owes me a few favours, so he should be being nice tonight.
I'll tell you what, Craig is a lovely bloke. We're lucky to have him.
Right. That's not what you said on the messenger page. You and I.
No, Craig, ignore Nick. He's been drinking.
He hasn't done a ginger ale.
Yeah, no, but it's all ale.
Dallas Mark, favourite ever player?
Oh, I say Christoph, just for what he brought.
Okay, favourite game.
I'm gonna go Bruges for the whole Bruges away.
Was you there?
Thing. I was there in Bruges
Oh,
away.
you jammy git. Oh, I missed that, mate. I
But
agree with
again,
that.
on the spot, that's one of the hardest questions. There've been so many. I was thinking today, it was crazy. Before coming on the show, I was thinking about some of the away games, and got lucky enough to be at Bolton away when Caddis scored, and Villa away when Stern John got. $14 again. I'm losing it.
So that's $42.
Man,
So far.
You won't see me again. I'll be off Facebook.
If you don't pay, we'll be across.
Yeah.
It'll cost you more to get here. It's all right. Come and do it.
Craig will find you. Craig will find you.
Yeah, I know where you live
to
now.
get $42 back,
Don't worry, Mark. Just give it to your mum and dad.
Yeah, I'll send it over with him.
Mark, favourite ever goal?
John Gale, Leyland Daft, probably.
Yes. Yeah, that's mine as well. Yeah. That meant
People
so
forget.
much.
People talk about the overhead kick, but they forget how good his first one was as well.
Yeah.
It's for his legs.
Brilliant, yeah.
Even Sturridge's goal. Even Gale did so well for Sturridge's goal because he assisted that as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Mark, have you ever heard the interview after that game?
I did.
Yeah.
Right. John Gale was interviewed after the game. He said, "But at the end of the day, we picked up the 3 points.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Perfect Birmingham City moment, mate. A perfect moment.
It's classic.
But that goal, I was there on that day, mate, and I was behind the goal where he scored it, and to witness that as a Birmingham City fan from it was 1991, wasn't it? Yeah, 1973 to 91, nearly 20 years. The odd promotion, the odd relegation.
30 years.
30 years.
Yeah,
We went with the Junior Blues Club actually. We went with the Junior Blues Club on that one. I think I was just turning 7 at the time, and we were in the Junior Blues, so we used to go to all the home games with them. But they did a Wembley special. It was funny. The coach didn't turn up, so we ended up going on a double-decker bus from the Birmingham West Midlands.
But you're all going, we're all going on the summer.
But it was amazing, just to see that. It was obviously we look back and we say it's a Leyland Daft, but at the time it was
it's a Wembley final.
It wasn't. For me, Mark, it was the first time my football club in my lifetime had got to Wembley, right, and won a trophy. And 45,000 people from Birmingham went down, and the noise was incredible.
It was amazing. Incredible. I remember it when I was 12 at the time, and I remember it. Yeah, I remember it really well.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I was 15. I was with my dad. We got the train down, and first trip to Wembley. But just remember.
And Keep Right On was sung from.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yes.
I remember the flat caps as well. The cap I had,
with a badge on the top.
I've got a photograph, Paul, right, of my son Adam. He's 36 now. His very first game, I sat him in the upper main stand before it was renovated, obviously, with a flat cap on, and I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I like this from Ray Hobro. Sorry, Ray Hobro through the Keown.
I've missed my opportunity, but I've got to ask, can I have 15 to Wan-Bissaka, please?
A what?
15 to Wan-Bissaka.
I like it.
He's been waiting to say that all day.
I have. It's been there. It's been got to be shouted.
I know. And Nick talked all over it.
We've got tongues of praise. Oh, I like that
tongues of
praise. Vicar of Temperley, have I got Hughes for you?
Well, it's that time, Nick. It's that time of evening.
Do you know what? I hate this time of the evening because, we've had a little bit of fun tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And we've had not only somebody who's now going to be a friend of the show forever, but a Birmingham City fan living out in Dallas, Texas, in the United States of America. What are you laughing at? Who laughed? Who laughed?
Possibly the worst accent I've ever heard.
I was trying to be proper serious.
Laughing at your American accent.
It's like somebody from
Kind of worse
Smithwick.
than mine, isn't it?
It was
To be
like
honest,
watching
it sounded-
Peaky Blinders all over again.
To be honest, it reminded me of Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie.
You guys, you know what? I genuinely, I mean that. I love you guys because, like, we can rip each other to bits on a Monday night, and nobody bats an eyelid. Not ever, not ever. Oh, girls and boys, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful, wonderful Monday night. In amongst all the sadness, obviously, with my Auntie June and Daz. Got to say goodbye and thank you to the team. The one and only Mr. Paul Lucas.
Pleasure as always.
God bless you, my friend. Take care. Oliver Bohemia.
Night, everyone.
The chairman of the board, Alan Watton.
Very good evening to you all.
Mark Andrew Adams.
Good night, everybody. Have a good week. Stay safe.
Craig Courtney.
Good night, everyone. And if you haven't signed already, please don't forget to lobby your MPs for the fan-led review.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
The one and
Do it.
only inimitable Mrs. Brown.
Good evening, good night.
And our guest and a new friend of the show tonight. You're going to go onto the Wall of Fame, my friend, which has a plethora of names across the Birmingham City realm for many, 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 many years. Your name will be added it tonight. Mark, from all the way from Dallas, Meredith. Thank you, sir.
I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody listening.
he's a slime.
Couple of years we'll be there again for sure. I'll be there.
Mark, let us know when you're coming over, right? Because we will be there. I promise you, right? If we're all still alive, we'll be there.
Say that.
When your child
I hope so.
walks through the gates of St Andrews, and we will make so much noise for. Is it him or her?
Him.
Him. We will make so much noise for him, mate. And I'll buy him a Balti pie.
Just got to say for Mark Brooks. Mark Brooks has put this on a couple of times. Blankety blank Lampard.
Brilliant.
Very good.
And we'll leave you with that, ladies and gents. It's been the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Board Sports, M&A French Polish, and of course the Garrison Coffee Company with me, Chris, Mark, Alan, Paul, and Oliver, and Craig, of course. Couldn't forget Craig. Well, actually, we could forget Craig.
Easy.
Good night. God bless. Take care, guys, and be safe. And let's hope we get 3 points this weekend. Take care. Good night. Love you all.